Hey everybody, I thought a quick example of going live would be a little fun for 5 minutes on a Friday. I'm practicing it myself and I want to do more of these this year. But in the meantime, I thought maybe I'd just get into a little topic that's been in the news lately and that's got my attention. Maybe it'll get yours as well. I want to talk with you about it. And that is the Trump accounts. Now, that's something that maybe you've heard about in the news this week. What are Trump accounts? Well, they are a one-time $1,000 government seed deposit from the Treasury for every U.S. citizen that's born January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2028. So basically during President Trump's tenure in office. And it's essentially a custodial IRA-style account invested only in low-cost U.S. broad stock index funds, with fees being pretty low, 0.1% on average. And the idea is that the child owns it at birth and it's locked, can't use it on toys and gadgets and video games, at least until age 18. Once I guess you can use it, it's used for qualified things like higher education, first-time home down payment, maybe starting a business or rolling it into a regular IRA account. And anybody, parents, grandparents, employers can all make additional contributions with money that's tax advantaged. So that's kind of cool. You can learn more about it at the trumpaccounts.gov. That's right, Trump puts his name on everything. Trump accounts with a plural there, trumpaccounts.gov. You can learn about the tax part of this on the IRS website. Just go to irs.gov and search for Trump accounts and you'll see what I mean there. Now, I want to just, I guess, talk about some of my own opinions on this. First of all, I think it's one of the most pro-family policies in decades. So that's a good thing. You know, I think putting real money to work for kids, not just the uber elite wealthy and not a handout to somebody who's going to stay in poverty, but really putting real money to work for kids from day one and showing them that society really values children. That's what a concept, right? I mean, it would be a very short-lived civilization that did not keep having kids. So by encouraging children, by giving them a piece of the society's economy right from day one is a good idea, in my opinion. Now, $1,000 might seem like a modest amount of money, but it can grow. I mean, the stock market can have ups and downs. It could be worth $500 next Tuesday, or it could be worth $170,000 by the time they are 18, depending on the rates of return in the overall market. Now, that's a great way to get kids involved in the economy. I mean, if you either can get them involved in capitalism or they are succumb to socialism. That's kind of my belief on the matter. So either one or the other. And I would much rather kids feel like they are a participant in the growing economy rather than a victim of the uber elite wealthy, whoever they are. So that's an interesting phenomenon to give them some part to play in this grand scheme. That's also a good thing. It also costs a lot more than many government programs that you might actually get them on the dole for later on. If they get addicted to government programs, that's going to cost a lot more than $1,000 when they're born. And it certainly does build assets instead of just creating dependency. But here's my concern. The government is forcing stock market risk on a child's money for 18 years at least, and maybe their entire life. It gets them hooked on the Wall Street drug right when they're born. I mean, we're having big conversations and disputes over which vaccines should be given to kids right when they're born right now from the Health and Human Services. Well, here we are giving them another kind of drug tied straight to things that can go down, right? How would it make your child feel if they need that money for college on their 18th birthday and the market crashes and they can no longer attend the college that they thought they could go to? What kind of belief would they have about the world and about the economy and about capitalism if they had all their eggs in the Wall Street basket? That kind of gets me nervous when I think about these Trump accounts. And of course, $1,000 is nice. And it's also great that you can add more to it, but it's truly a drop in the bucket compared to the real cost of raising a child, which can be, in a previous episode, I calculated close to $500,000 from 0 to age 18. That's not even counting the cost of college. So $1,000 is great, but it's just a drop in the bucket. So I'm going to encourage you guys to really consider, in addition, if you're um, if you're ready to go with these Trump accounts, if you qualify for them, if your kid qualifies for them, great. Feel free to do it, but make that the tip top of your financial pyramid for your child, for your family. There should be things way beyond just the $1,000 that's going to be dropped into the S&P 500. And by the way, I wonder who the money manager is on these Trump accounts. He or she and the firm that he or she represents have got to have a super sweet deal with the government to be able to manage all those funds, even at 0.1% fees. If we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, that's a lot of dough that financial firm is raking in, even at low cost S&P funds like that. To just push a button and buy those funds and no real management, that's still going to be somebody's great steak dinner at some financial firm somewhere. So I would say comparing a bank on yourself policy to a Trump account, well, one, both can aim to give children a stronger financial start, and both emphasize long-term wealth building. That's where I think they're both aligned. But for me, the key difference is Trump accounts are 100% stock market exposure, market volatility. It's still a gift from Uncle Sam. Do you really want the government giving your brand new baby a present on the day they're born? I don't. I mean, a bank on yourself designed whole life policy is guaranteed to grow via whole life insurance. So there's zero stock market risk, full personal control over the money, meaning you can access that money and use it anytime you need. You don't have to wait till they're 18. You could use it to help them buy their first car when they're 16, help them go on that trip to Europe with their school when they're 12, whatever it was. And you can use the flexible policy loan feature, and the policy will continue to compound and grow, even if you need to grab some of that cash for college or a wedding or whatever. It's also completely private. Now, Trump accounts, there might be higher upside potential, but it's also higher risk. Whereas Bank on Yourself might have lower upside in terms of its internal rate of return, but its maximum power is its uninterrupted, ever-increasing compounding, where you're never going to be faced with a down year. It's always going to be bigger and more valuable this year than last year. And similar to a Trump account, a Bank on Yourself designed whole life policy, grandpa can chip in. Okay, everybody can chip into these whole life policies to make it a part of your overall financial picture for your child. And finally, there's a chance that someday, 100 years from now, that little kiddo that you got this policy on will become great grandma, grandpa, and finally pass away. When that happens, an incredible surge of cash will be left to the family. Not so with a Trump account. Whatever's left in the Trump account will be left to the family, and that's fine. But it is life insurance when we're looking at Bank on Yourself designed policies, and I can't find anything else that automatically becomes more valuable when I pass away besides life insurance. So what a cool component to the financial picture. Am I saying don't jump on the Trump train if you've got if your qualified kiddo can get a Trump account? Go ahead and get it. But make that your motivator to go ahead and start a whole life policy, something that undergirds the Trump account as a foundation that makes sure that the Trump account could go to zero and your kids' goals would not be affected one iota. That's my little quick rant for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to jump to another meeting with a friend, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. Everybody have a great weekend.